It's official, Burnley have been relegated. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yesterday's video going to centre around Burnley Football Club, who have today been confirmed as being relegated from the Premier League back down to the Championship after today's 2-1 defeat at the hands of Spurs. A valiant effort towards the end of the season has come up with nothing for Vincent Kompany's side, who will begin life again in the Championship for next season. We're going to be talking about Burnley's season, the road that they have been on over the course of this campaign and everything else in between. But before we go any further, I would like to remind you to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and very greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on Burnley, the relegation that was confirmed today, or anything else that you want to talk about in regards to this now Championship side. But without further ado, let's go on with the video. Let's talk Burnley. Let's talk how today they are down into the Championship after obviously confirming their relegation status for this season for the next campaign. Look, this now marks the second Championship team to be officially confirmed and being relegated. And as things stand right now, at the time of recording, Nottingham Forest are drawing 1-1 with Chelsea. If that result is to stay the same, or Forest are to find a winner in that game, then Luton Town will be confirmed as being relegated as well. And if that was to be the case, then all three newly promoted sides for this season will officially be yo-yoing back down to the Championship for the next campaign. Burnley's problem this season has just been through a lack of clear management. Not in terms of Vincent Kompany, because a lot was made about Vincent Kompany and a lot was made about how Burnley could surprise a few this season. But in terms of maybe on the pitch game management, maybe it was a very young side. Maybe it was a case of trying to maybe replicate their Championship form into the Premier League, and results didn't really take off till the final few weeks of the season. But by then the writing was seemingly on the wall and it was seemingly confirmed their fate. Yes, they put up a bit of a fight towards the end, but a little bit too little too late if you ask me. Burnley's problem all season, apart from obviously game management, has basically been that their manager has treated this competition like it is the Championship. You don't get enough second chances in the Premier League that you would in the Championship in order to A, score some goals, or B, stop some goals. And that's basically where Burnley's quality has been lacking across the season, defensively and in the attacking third as well, because they don't score. They didn't really score enough goals, in my opinion, especially not in the key matches, shall we say, that you would probably see Burnley going, we should score more here, we should score more there. Burnley just didn't do that. And then defensively as well, you know, with the exception of Luton and of course Sheffield United, they have the third worst goal scoring record, defensive record. So you can clearly tell that stopping goals was obviously a massive Achilles heel for them, but not scoring enough either was also down the other end a problem as well. Just a lack of quality. And, you know, maybe you can look at the way that, you know, maybe they didn't have enough money to spend, maybe they were struggling to compete, maybe they didn't get enough kind of talent or experience in the squad to bolster their squad ahead of what was always going to be a difficult, challenging season for Burnley to remain in the Premier League. Like I say, a lot was made about Vincent Kompany in the Championship, and a lot was made about how he may become like the next up-and-coming young manager. He still may be. There still may be cause for that, and, you know, fair play to Burnley for sticking it out with him. Because of course they had numerous opportunities throughout the season to of course roll the dice in order to save their Premier League survival and maybe go in a different direction. They didn't. They understand the long-term process, and, you know, the hope is that Kompany will keep his job going forward and will have an opportunity to obviously help Burnley bounce back into the Premier League for next season. Of course, the yo-yo effect could still come into play. It has happened before, and it has happened with Burnley. An example that I use so often is Sean Dyche. When he was at Burnley, when he first broke them back into the Premier League, they yo-yoed for a season or two. So it can be done, it has been done, and it has especially been done with this club, and especially when you put a lot of time and effort into, of course, trying to change the culture of the club, trying to change the structure of the club, like Burnley have done these past couple of years. You kind of expect them to withstand the test of relegation back down to the Championship with Vincent Kompany by their side, and obviously he's already been there and done that, and he's obviously won the Championship before. He can certainly do it again. There are a couple of players there for Burnley that maybe you would suspect, maybe on the radar of certain lower level Premier League clubs, or even some of the newly promoted sides that are coming up to the Premier League for next season. They certainly could be on that, or have heavy speculation surrounding their future with the club, of course, but with the way that club is set up, they are a top-level Championship side as of right now. And of course, you would expect them to be strong favourites to bounce back up straight away for the following campaign from the Championship. And then from there, who knows? Maybe with that experience under their belts of this season, they can go on to maybe have this long-term project, like I say, where they bounce back up after a disappointing season. They go into the Championship for the next campaign. They bounce straight back up, and then from there they put the blocks in place to obviously build upon what could be a sustainable Premier League outfit. That could be the case. Obviously, only time will tell on that, but it will be interesting to see where the chips lie in a season or two's time, especially for next season when Burnley will obviously be going back into the Championship. Overall, though, like I say, a lack of quality in both ends of the pitch, a lack of game management, I think a lack of, I wouldn't say respect from Vincent Kompany, but it does seem like he was trying to treat the Premier League like it was the Championship for most of the season. And it was only towards the back end of the season things started to click a little bit better. They were starting to get a few more goals, but at the same time, and results were obviously going in their favour. But obviously by then it was seemingly too little, too late as far as what they're concerned. They follow suit with Sheffield United. They're both all back in the Championship, and like I say, as things stand right now, Luton Town will also be joining them this weekend if the Nottingham Forest result either stays the same or is better in favour of Nuno Espirito Santo's side. So there's a lot to unpack there, and there's a lot to obviously talk about. There's a lot of layers, and there's obviously the layer of the Championship sides all coming up and then all going straight back down again for next season. You can argue about FFP, PSR rulings kind of being against these kinds of teams. You can argue about the money aspect of things not being spent enough to obviously prolong their Premier League stay for more than just a season. I think for Luton Town, I think it's just a case of they're not good enough, unfortunately. And again, it may be a money aspect. It maybe not. Maybe them not maybe spending whatever little money they have in the right areas. They have battled for everything this season, and it's been admirable to watch at times. But ultimately, they've just not been good enough. For Burnley, they were expected. I think a lot of people expected more of them in particular this season. I think a lot of people expected more from them this season, and ultimately they may have failed to deliver on that front. But if you're looking at the bigger picture, I think keeping Vincent Kompany is a no-brainer. I think trying to keep the main stronghold of that squad together is a no-brainer, because I think the long-term plan could potentially be that they use this as experience. They go back down into the Championship. They absolutely walk the Championship again. I know it's a very difficult league to get out of, but what I mean is that they are a top Championship team, should be a top contender to obviously get out of that Championship league and obviously get promoted into the Premier League again. And I think the long-term plan has to be here that they will yo-yo, but when they get back up again in a couple of years' time, that's where they'll look to stay. They'll fight off relegation in that first season, and then they'll look to progress from there under Vincent Kompany, because, like I say, it has been a huge culture shock and a huge change from obviously what happened under Sean Dyche, what he managed to build there, the culture, the style, and everything else that is going on there in regards to Burnley at that time period, until the huge changes now under Vincent Kompany, under his regime, a younger coach, a fresher coach, a more modern day thinking coach, and obviously that has been replicated in how we've seen Burnley play this season and how we've seen their style change so dramatically since, of course, we last saw them in the Premier League under Everton's manager now, Sean Dyche. So, yeah, a lot to think about in regards to Burnley's season, a lot to review, a lot to unpack there, and a lot to obviously discuss for the long-term future. Obviously, I'm only talking about this from the outside looking in, so if obviously there are Burnley fans out there that want to give me more of an insight into how the club is and everything, and how you particularly feel about that, obviously leave your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, down below in that comment section. I'd love to hear from you all. Love to hear from rival fans as well and neutral fans on this as well. Try and get as many opinions and things on this as possible. Burnley are today down and out of the Premier League. They've today been confirmed as being relegated. They will start next season in the Championship, but you would imagine would be a top contender to obviously bounce back up into the Premier League. These have just been the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. Remember to leave all of your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, down below in the comment section. Would love to hear from you all. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And of course, as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. I'll see you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Speak to you all again very, very soon.